G'day guys, and today Sean and I have big matters to discuss. Danger's been given a week. He has been pinged for holding the ball, and Danger will probably not take part unless he decides to challenge against the Swans at Simmons Stadium in a massive clash. Mate, you're going to make a podcast about this later on in the piece, but big matters to discuss. Was it a week? Was it not a week? What are your thoughts? You'll obviously delve a bit deeper in your podcast, which I'll link at the end of this podcast. What do you reckon, mate?
Yeah, thanks, mate. I will have that podcast up around 9, but I'll go in a bit more detail. Yeah, really disappointing, and it was pretty flat today, and not just from a Geelong point of view. And while I keep it somewhat short before you have your say, my major beef is with the Brownlow medal and the ruling of it being the fairest and best. That's my main cause of frustration. I'm pretty passionate about it, as you know. I've talked about it with you a bit. I made a video on YouTube a few months back, and all of a sudden it actually happens. I think it's time we need to get up with the times, and that needs to get rid of the interpretation of how we hand out the medal, because I think it really does lead to these situations where I can cop the week. I can understand that if they want to send a message about head knocks, and look, it's dubious. I could argue that it shouldn't be a week. I've plenty to say on that. I mean, the outcome over the action, etc., we get frustrated by that. But look, if you are sending a message, I'll cop the week. But I just think Dangerfield cops his penalty for the week. I don't see why he needs to cop such an enormous, life-changing thing that he'll be asked about for years and years to come scenario where he's ineligible for the Brownlow, which is clearly that action doesn't make him an unfair player, and that's my major disappointment, mate. It is very frustrating. It will hurt us also against the Swans, which we'll talk about more in the review, but
it's monstrous.
Certainly I'll go into more detail on my podcast, but it is one that I'm rather passionate about, as you well know. But what was your take on it, mate?
Yeah, I was texting you Saturday night about it, and I said I can see it going either way. I'm slightly more negative about it than positive, because unfortunately the MRP, they see an action, then they see an outcome, and then they automatically think that the action creates the outcome, which in a way it does, but there's also many things to consider, like force, and then there's the player, then there's the victim who gets tackled, the turf. I think there's too many grey areas in this one to conclusively say, yes, Dangerfield deliberately, caused impact to Cruiser, which caused him to get a concussion, come off. If he didn't have a concussion, it wouldn't be an issue, really. That's the underlying matter. He's had, I think, one bad incident throughout his career where it wasn't even bad. It was umpire contact and a $900 fine. And he does a slightly overzealous tackle, and a player accidentally gets concussed, and he misses out on arguably one of the best awards in the game. Really disappointed on that front with it. It's you see Sean Burgoyne's tackle get off. There's a couple of, which I reckon is more similar than the examples I think they're referring to, and I don't think the MRP even used precedents. They're referring to Tom Lynch and Jared Waite and Kobe Stevens, and also McCarthy, I believe it was, that did all those other tackles, which are somewhat similar, but I think Burgoyne's is closer to it. Yeah, pretty disappointed with the result, because I'm more annoyed about how it will affect us for this Friday night against the Swans. But there's a bigger picture in mind, which you mentioned, mate, with the Brownlow medal and the integrity with being the best and fairest. Stevie J had a really good tweet last night about having 3 weeks since suspension. Any more than that, you don't deserve to win it, or you don't win it, full stop. Look, I'm not happy with it. I can accept it, I suppose, but is Sean Burgoyne's one the incorrect one, or the other 3 or 4 incorrect? Like, we have got no idea. Look, it's one of those ones where you don't know what to say, really. Like, you understand why they picked it, but I think there's a lot of reasons why he should not get a week. And generally, players that are playing well sometimes get the benefit of the doubt if they're in Brownlow contention. Not always the case, obviously now. But, not very happy. I'll wear it, and hopefully the Cats challenge it. What do you want them to do there, mate? Quickly, as we wrap up with this one.
Yeah, definitely challenge it. I mean, I don't care if he gets 2. I think you just have to take the risk to challenge it for what could be a massive thing we talk about in years to come. So I'd challenge it. People will say, oh, you've got, what is it, Sydney and then is it Richmond? But so there, I'd challenge it.
Yeah, I don't know, mate. I'll leave that up to the club. I'll sit on the fence. Okay, that's my say and Shorty's say on that one, with Dangerfield getting a week. So feel free to chuck in your thoughts in the comments. It'll be a highly debated topic. And check out Shorty's say, which will be up later. I'll link that to you guys in the description and have it at the end of this podcast so you guys can click on it, check it out, and it'll be awesome. Hope you enjoyed the chat, guys. We'll catch you guys next time.